Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Matthew and I am here to give you 3 mistakes you make when manifesting your specific person. But before we get into that, if you are in need of my help in creating your perfect life or disbanding the things that are stopping you from getting there, check the links down below in the comment section or the description. They'll take you to my website where you can sign up for coaching. With that out of the way, let's get into this video. So the first mistake, and you probably won't be surprised, is chasing your specific person. Now, when I say chasing, this could be mentally or physically. Think of your specific person or the desire for them like a cat on the street. If you were to run after a cat to try and pet it, you will probably chase it away. I don't think I've ever met a cat, even my own cats that know that I'm safe to be around, that wouldn't just dart when I run at them. You will never, ever be able to run after a cat and then them stop and let you pet them. Think of your specific person like that. The more that you're chasing, the more that you are, I need you, I need to do this, I'm going to keep messaging you, I'm going to keep constantly up here thinking about you and, why don't you love me, why this, why that, yada, 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 you're going to push them away. But going back to the cat analogy, if you just crouch down, hold out your hand, keep still, keep calm, let it come to you, it comes to you, and then it's super lovey-dovey. Your specific person is the same. When you stay in your imagination, knowing that it's done, allowing it to come in, knowing that you're worthy of it, knowing that you deserve more than to be the one to chase, and you just chill knowing that it's done, it will happen. When you validate yourself, you will get what you want. When you need them to validate you, you will always need them to validate you. You will always need them to fill the void, which is going to create a separation between you, them, and a happy relationship, because you'll be constantly relying on them to make you feel better. And your dominant state then is, I need you to make me feel better. And therefore, you're in a constant state of needing them, which more often than not means that they aren't there. This is why most people end up losing their specific people in the first place. So when you start validating yourself and saying, nope, I'm worthy of this, I'm not going to chase, I deserve to be chased, I deserve to be loved, this is done. You're utilizing the morning and night when your conscious mind is less active and your subconscious mind is more receptive to impress it with this version of you who has your specific person, and this version of your specific person who is in love with you, who is there, who head over heels for you and does all of the chasing and yada, yada, yada. You will get what you want. But it all starts from in here by taking that step back and saying, I'm not going to chase. I deserve more. We are in this relationship. It's done. I'm going to crouch down and hold my hand out, and you're going to come to me. When you stop chasing, that's when you can start being chased, because you cannot chase and be chased at the same time. I know a lot of people get a bit worried about, if I take my energy back, will I lose them forever? Doesn't work like that. The more that you chase them, the more that you're in need of them, the more that you're constantly in their DMs or on their doorstep or anything like that, that's what's going to keep them away. You cannot be chased and chase at the same time. So stop chasing, stop needing their validation, start validating yourself and just sit back and let it come in. I promise you they will come in. If you see my community post, the vast majority of people who have successes that I've posted say, when I took a step back, when I stopped chasing, when I allowed them to come in. Honestly, go back through my community page and all of the ones that are success stories, as opposed to your coaching was amazing posts, they all say the same thing. When I took that step back. Stop chasing. You deserve more. You deserve to be chased. And I want that for you. I want you guys to feel the love of having someone chasing you. The second mistake is using tarot as the end-all be-all. Now, if you want to go to a tarot reading to find out what your current energy is at, or even just for a bit of fun, absolutely fine. Go and enjoy it. But the mistake comes from when you see the negative stuff from a tarot reader as the end-all be-all. Like I just said, tarot are current energies. So if they're showing you a current energy that is negative, that does not mean that it has to play out. That does not mean that you cannot do anything about it and this thing will happen. So if you go to a tarot reader and they say, your person is struggling to move on from the hurt and they don't know if they can come back to you, that's probably just because that's a story that you are holding on to. The minute that you shift your awareness, this story will change. The minute that you shift your energy, this story will change. So if you get a negative story from a tarot reader, yes, it will suck. I can understand that. But don't let it be the end all be all. Don't let it put you into a spiral. because that's the problem. Not going to tarot readers in the first place, just how you handle the tarot reading. I've had negative tarot readings even now. Obviously, as many of you will know, Katie does tarot readings, and sometimes she does some for me for fun. Sometimes she comes up with negative stuff, but I'm still the operant power. So even if she's reading my current energy and something undesirable is coming up, I'm like, thanks for showing me something that I didn't realize I was doing. I'll shift it. And then things go great. So if you get a negative story, if anything, see it as a positive, because it shows you what you are doing wrong and shows you where you can shift. So if you feel like you're doing everything right and then a tarot reading says something negative, it shows you that there's still more that can shift, and therefore more results will be able to come easier. So don't see it as this, oh my God, this is the end of the world. She said something negative to me, so now this must mean my person will never want me again. Because that's the problem. That's where the spiral starts. That's where the panic starts. That's where this whole absolute self-destruction starts. And I get this a lot from my clients when they're like, oh, I went to a tarot reader like 6 months ago and they said this, and I just haven't been able to like fully recover from it. And I look at it and I go, I can see why, but you are still the operant power. You are still the individual who can control where your focus goes and therefore can create a new story. So if you get a good story, great. If you get a bad story, see it as a way to shift. See it as your next path. It's a fork in the road. You can go down the path of positivity and end result and living in the end and yada, yada, yada. Just because a tarot said it's something negative doesn't mean it stays that way. That's down to you. The third mistake is getting too carried away when speaking to others. Now, we are social creatures. There's no denying that. So when someone is to come to you saying, you know, how's you and your XYZ person, I understand that sometimes it's very difficult to bite your tongue. We all like talking about ourselves. We all like venting. And I mean, even me, sometimes it feels good to be in the victim state a bit. Oh, yeah, they're just not showing up for me the way that I want. They just this, they just that. And I get it. I do it sometimes myself as well, and I have to shut myself up. But that's where a mistake comes from. If someone was to come to you saying, how's you and specific person, say something elusive that doesn't imply anything bad is happening. For example, things are all right, or, you know, I'm looking forward to when I can see them next, or I'm just focusing on myself right now, or things are working exactly as they should. None of these imply that it's bad, that you're broken up, that things suck. They all just kind of imply that things are going as they should go. That's being in the state of things going as they should go. But if you were to say to them, oh, I haven't spoken to them in ages. What's that affirming? You haven't spoken to them in ages. You don't have them. Especially when you're talking to non-LOA people as well, you need to be careful because, and by non-LOA, I mean either they don't believe it or they just don't know about it at all, because they want what's best for you. People think that venting and talking about things is best for you. And sometimes, yes, talking about it is good to get it off if it's something that's really holding you still. But most of the time it's not. And because they don't know about LOA, they think the more that you talk, the better it'll be. So they might come up to you saying, how's you and so-and-so? And then you might say, maybe not so great right now. And then them thinking that you need to talk about it, they're like, oh, what's going on? And then you might end up falling into it and going, oh, just haven't spoken in ages. Oh, I thought you guys were great. Yeah, we were, but then he said all these horrible things and I just haven't been able to get them out of my head. And, oh, that sounds awful. He sounds like a horrible person. No, he's really nice. But, you know, we just had a massive argument. We kept having arguments and it was all my fault. And I did this and he just reacted. And, oh, well, still, if you made mistakes, then you see where I'm going at. The conversation starts off as just like a, and it starts to go further and further into a negative spiral story. And then afterwards, you're probably not going to feel very good talking about it because being an LOA believer, being someone who practices conscious creation, you'll be like, shit, what did I just do? I just reaffirmed the old story. I just went through and just completely spilled out everything that I'm trying to move past so that I can create a new story. And then it doesn't feel so good. But I know that you need to talk about it on times. I don't want you to bottle anything up. If you absolutely need to talk about it just to get it off your chest and to get some clarity, either join my Discord group so that you can have a social interaction or join other coaches' community groups as well. Because you can speak about it there, but will be held accountable. So if you're to say something, you know, I really need to get this thing off my chest because it's making me spiral worse than just saying it and letting it go, you can speak to another LOA person, let it out, and then as soon as it's let out, they will hold you accountable. They're like, all right, you've got it out. Come on, back on now. You live in the end. This is your person. Everything's great. Join a community group. They help so much. It doesn't have to be mine because it's absolutely fine if you don't want to join mine, but try to have some LOA manifestation buddies or a community group that you can talk to. Because by no means do I think that you need to bottle everything up, and by no means do I think talking about the undesired circumstances here and there is going to destroy everything. But when you speak to non-LOA people, it tends to go into a bit more of a spiral, and they will tend to keep coming back asking about how things are now. And if no movements happen, it's just going to reinforce that, making you spiral more. Whereas an LOA person will go, all right, get it off your chest. All right, it's off your chest, back on it. This is your person, stop it. And they probably won't ask you, or they'll ask you, how are you feeling overall? And then you can give a more beneficial story. This is part one. This is 3 mistakes you are making. I do have some more. So if you've enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and a comment. Let me know that you do, because I have a few more so I can make a part 2 of this video. Apologies, it's a little bit shorter for those of you that like the long ones. These kind of 3-way or 5-way videos kind of go quite quickly. But yeah, let me know if you've enjoyed it. If you do need my help, by all means, check out my services available to anyone. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.